Good afternoon, boys and girls. I want to welcome you all to our visual and performing arts lesson. In our lesson, we are looking at creative processes and performance. And the subtopic that we are looking at is music. By now, I hope you are now able to know the different musical notes that we have discussed, which include a semibreve, a crochet, a minim, a quiver, as well as a semiquiver. And you are also now able to distinguish between a treble clef as well as a bass clef. What about a staff or a staff? Yes, remember we said a staff, these are 5 horizontal lines where music is written. When you draw 5 lines, we have automatically created 4 spaces, and that is what we call a staff. You should be able to know these because they link up as we write music, as we compose music. In our lesson today, we are going to look at what we call time signatures and bar lines. Please pay attention as I'm going to be illustrating and demonstrating on these time signatures and bar lines. Yes, what is a time signature? If you look at your screen there, you can see the definition. A time signature, these are fractions written at the beginning of stuff after a clef. They tell you how the music is to be counted. These are what we call time signatures. What about bar lines? These are vertical lines that divide the stuff into short sections called measures or bars. Right. Without wasting much of time, let's look at these time signatures. Time signatures consist of 2 numbers, the top number as well as the bottom number. So we are going to look at what the top number represents as well as the bottom number. The top number indicates the number of beats in a bar or measure. And what do we call a measure? A measure is the space between 2 vertical lines on a staff. Master this. The bottom number indicates the type of knot. Is it a crochet? Is it a minim? Or a semibreve? Whatever. We also have 2 types of signatures, simple time signature and compound time signatures. But today we are not going to look at simple time signature and compound time signature. We are going to look at these in our next lesson. Now, I want you to follow through, look closely to the picture as I'm going to be demonstrating what I have been saying. Time signatures, top numbers, bottom numbers, bar lines, measure. I'm going to demonstrate these, illustrating these on a picture that you are seeing on your screen. If you look on that picture, we have a clef that is at the beginning of a staff. Those 5 lines, remember we said that is what we call a staff. And at the beginning of a staff, we place a clef. That is a treble clef there. Yes, you remember about that. Now we have 4 over 4 that is written there after a clef. That is what we call a time signature. The time signature is placed after a clef. That is what we call a time signature. 4/4. If you look again, we've got some vertical lines that are there on a staff. Those vertical lines, that is what we call bar lines. Those 2 vertical lines are what we call bar lines. Very good. Now, we have got the space between those 2 vertical lines. The space between those 2 vertical lines, that is what we call a measure. That is what we call a measure. Right. Remember we said, on a time signature, we have got beats. If you look again at that picture, we have got where it is written 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are beats that are written on a measure. The space between 2 bar lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are what we call beats in music. And some examples of time signatures are there: 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 8, 6, 8, 5, 4. Those are some of the examples of time signatures. Now, remember we said the top number, it represents the number of bits in a bar. And the bottom number, we said it indicates the type of a note. For example, 3, 4. 3, 4 means we have got 3 bits in a bar, or we have 3 crochet bits in a bar. Yes. Likewise, 4, 4, it means we have got 4 bits in a bar, or we have got 4 crochet bits in a bar. But we may not have crochet bits always on a bar. For example, now 5, 8. What does 5, 8 means? 5, 8 means that we have got 5 quiver bits in a bar. 5 quiver bits in a bar. Why are we saying quiver bits? Because the bottom number there, which represent a knot. Remember, a quiver, we said, is also an 8th knot. An 8th knot. So that 8 is the number that has guided us to say we have got 5 quiver bits in a bar. We might have minims or semi-brief or quiver. So what you are supposed to know is the top number, which represents the number of bits, and the bottom number, which represents the type of knot. The type of knots that we have are the crochet, the minim, the quiver, the semi-quiver, as well as a semi-brief. Remember, we said a crochet is a quarter knot, a minim is a half knot, a quiver is an 8th knot, and a semi-quiver is a 16th knot. A semi-brief is the mother knot. The mother knot, we may also call it a whole knot. You should know that a semi-brief is the mother knot or a whole knot. So, a crochet, we must have 4 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, to have a whole knot, to have a semi-brief. Likewise, a semi-quiver, we must have 16th knots to make a whole knot. I hope you have understood what we call time signatures, what the top number represents as well as the bottom number, what we call bar lines, and what we call a measure. Please, you may also refer again and again to these lessons so that you clearly understand what we are saying. I know this topic might pose a challenge, so follow through as these lessons are going to be presented to you. Thank you. You're also supposed to write an exercise that is appearing on your screen. Write that exercise and forward the answers. Thank you.